Thanks, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday night webinar. We'll be getting started here in just about 30 seconds. Just want to give everybody a chance to come on since we just barely got it started here. So again, this is one of our last webinars before we launch. Hopefully a lot of people heard the updates on the call at 2 p.m. Eastern earlier today. Just really quick for those of you that didn't and are already involved with Against All Odds, we're going to start taking orders on the 24th. So we originally planned on the 22nd. We're just waiting on one thing that's coming in on Wednesday. So the 24th is when we're going to start taking orders. We will be continuing up until then. So Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern and Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll continue with these opportunity calls. And then we'll set up a new, just kind of a new schedule starting on Wednesday. So make sure and watch that, pay attention, and we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started with the presentations, but give me just 1 second here. All right, fantastic. Tommy, can you just confirm that you're seeing the correct screen?
Yes, Dan, I can see it perfectly.
We can see it, Dan.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to do it just a little bit different. We're going to focus just on the opportunity presentation here. Not going to go into quite as much detail on the product or the whole setup of the company, just to try and get this down to around 30 minutes or maybe even a little bit less. But it is a very exciting time, and this is very unique to be in this early and what we think is going to be a company that truly does change the way that the industry is done. And as I get started, let me tell you a little bit more about myself and a little bit more about the co-founders here, both JC and Travis. I've been full-time in the network marketing industry for almost 30 years now. Most of that time has been spent as a distributor. So I've been in the field and built organizations of hundreds of thousands of distributors. I've made millions and millions of dollars as a distributor. And then fast forwarding and starting about 2002, I came up with some ideas that I felt would create a better duplication and retention model than had ever been created in network marketing. And us as distributors, we're reliant on the company to create the model that's going to allow us to create that duplication and retention that we need in order to make that residual income and really make things happen. And I just didn't see any models that made a whole lot of sense. And so I created kind of an entire new model back in 2002 and basically talked to some owners of the companies and said, hey, here's the bottom line. I'll fund the company. I'll put up all the money. I'll actually pay for the programming. I'll pay for the product. I'll pay for all the startup. And I'll build it as a distributor if you'll just help me launch something like this. And really wasn't as easy as you'd think when I'm the one going there and saying, I'll put up all the money. I could see it being a little difficult if I was asking them to put up the money. But even with that being said, I had to meet with several companies before I found one that would do that. And since then, we've helped launch 10 companies, done around $6 billion in sales, paid out between $3 to $4 billion in commissions, and really changed the way that the industry was done. And just a few examples we'll be covering here, but several of the companies that I helped launch new divisions for had already done $1 billion in sales. And every single one of the companies that we launched division for ended up basically rolling that into the division we started because it was going so much better. And a lot of the basic foundations that we're starting with Against All Odds are the things that I learned over doing those billions of dollars in sales and paying out billions of dollars in commissions. And then we have JC. His background is more just in the corporate area, but also working with distributors and leaders all over the world, starting in customer service, working into elite services, working into marketing, and then launching countries and pretty much everything that you can do corporately. He's done that over the last 15 years. I've worked with him personally pretty much every single day for the last 2 years. And then Travis, I've known for probably about 10 to 15 years now. He's been also on the corporate side, starting in the mid-90s, so about 25 years now. He's been working corporately and with some of the fastest growing companies in the history of network marketing. First company he's with actually is one of the fastest companies in the history of the world. Went from 0 to 500 million in 3 years. There's only a couple companies in all business that have ever done that. So when you're looking at companies like Amazon, you're looking at companies like FedEx, you're looking at companies like Apple and Microsoft. This company was faster growing than all of those. Even though those are massive companies, they didn't have that fast of a start. And then the second company he's with did basically the same thing. And he's also been owner on the owner side, not just the corporate side, and taken a company from 0 to 100 million within 3 years. So he's also been there and participating in companies that have done billions and billions of dollars in sales. JC, same thing, hundreds of millions of dollars per year, billions of dollars in cumulative sales. So if you add it all up, we've had this experience. And again, one of my favorite sayings is you win or you learn. These winning experiences and these learning experiences of what companies have done, the best parts, and then also the parts that maybe weren't so good. A lot of people have heard that saying, you know, hindsight's 20/20. And we've been able to go back and use that hindsight with these companies and see, you know, this is what really worked. This is where they kind of got off track. This is what you could do to make things a little bit different. But the basic decision that we've made is that the entire company is going to be built around the distributor, not built around the compensation plan, not built around the product, built around the actual distributor, so that everything that we're doing is just focusing on what do we need to do to help make the distributors go to the next level. Everything on the company is already locked in. So we've created the smart contracts or the non-negotiables for the company that we'll talk about on the next slide, but that's all a given. That's not changing. So we're going to be able to spend all of our time focusing on the reps, focusing on leveling them up, focusing on giving them the training, the support, the tools, everything that they need in order to be successful, because we already know the product's not going to change. We already know those non-negotiables. And so what we've created for the distributor side, this is going to be done through a phone app, is actually some things that we've seen. And again, this isn't just stuff I've came up with. This actually came from looking what Andy Frisella put together with First Form and 75 Hard, and how they've grown that into a brand that's doing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales and a massive podcast. But also looking at Kobe Bryant and a lot of other people that have just been, again, the best of the best and what they did. And one of the things that we came up with on the non-negotiables is actually from a interview with Kobe Bryant. And he talked about one off season when he made the decision that he's going to level up his game and is going to change the way that he trains. And this became a non-negotiable in his life, meaning he didn't care if he felt bad. He didn't care if he was sick. There was non-negotiables that he was going to do no matter what in order to level him up. And obviously, he not only became one of the greatest players of all time, but he maintained at such a high level for decades. And that was because of the non-negotiable contract that he made with himself, that he wasn't going to take days off. He was going to focus and really do the things that are necessary. Now, we feel in order to perform at your best as human beings, there's 5 basic things that you need to take control of. First is your nutrition. You have to put health first. You can't just ignore it and say, oh, I feel fine. Because that, oh, I feel fine, eventually goes away. Then you can have some massive problems. And without your health, not a whole lot else matters. So we want to educate people and say, hey, let's take our health seriously. Let's start right now from where we are, and let's create a non-negotiable contract with ourselves on what we're going to do for our nutrition, what we're going to do for our physical activity and our exercise, what we're going to do for our personal development, what we're going to do to bring the money into our household that we truly feel that we deserve, what is going to allow us to be more comfortable, to allow us to have control of our time, and then something to hold us accountable to that. So we have a phone app that'll walk you through all of this and really educate you on starting where you are now, because non-negotiable means non-negotiable. It's not a goal. It's not a New Year's resolution that you're going to break every single year. This is a non-negotiable, so you have to look at it realistically of where you are right now, and then we're going to create baby steps to create your dream life. So if you could look at a roadmap and you just make, okay, this is where I'm at. That's important to understand where you're at right now. This is what I do with my nutrition every day. This is what I do with my physical activity every day. This is what I do for personal development every day. This is what I do for my finances to improve my financial situation every day. This is what I do to hold me accountable. And some people may do nothing. So you're going to start from doing nothing. Now we're going to add just a little bit that you're going to commit to. Some of you may do a ton. So we're going to start with where you are. That's the starting point. But then we're also going to develop, where do you want to be? What are your goals? What are your dreams? If you could write your own check, what would that be? If you could live anywhere that you wanted, where would that be? If you had control of your time, what would you be doing? These are the types of things that you're going to figure out while you're creating these non-negotiables. And then we're going to help you go from where you are to that dream life that you deserve. And again, that's a big part of the business. That is the biggest part of the business. Another part of that that's going to help along the way is a podcast that we've developed called Self-Made. This is where we go and actually interview self-made people. And I can guarantee you 100%. I personally interviewed between 150 to 200 people that are what I would call self-made in the network marketing business. We're not going to stay in just network marketing and home-based business. We're going to interview self-made people all over the world in all walks of life. But I absolutely guarantee you, when I interviewed these 150 to 200 people, what I came up with was something that I called the 5 traits of all successful marketers. I found out that there's 5 things that they all had in common. And that's what I started to implement in my business. And that was the first step of making a drastic change in my own personal business. So I absolutely guarantee, as we launch the podcast and Self-Made, you're going to start to notice some similarities between every single one of these self-made people. And then you're going to be able to take these similarities and put them into your own non-negotiables. But as mentioned, the reason that we're really focused on the non-negotiables and helping and training you and going from your starting point to your dream is because we also put some non-negotiables together for the company. These are things that you know aren't going to change. Just by committing to a single product, never having a second product, we don't have to have any discussions ever corporately of what are we going to do with the product. Obviously, manufacturing and some of those things are going to be something that we're going to be having discussions on, and registration and those. But again, one single product frees up so much time, we don't ever have to worry about a second product launch. No formula changes. Compensation plan won't change. We don't ever even have to have that discussion. It will never even come out of our mouth of what can we do to enhance or change the compensation plan. It's a non-negotiable. No insertions, no deals. We don't have to have a discussion and saying, hey, this guy came to us, but he wants a leg given to him. He wants this ghost volume. He wants this, he wants this, he wants that. He wants all of this stuff. The answer is it's not happening. We don't even have to have that discussion because we already had the discussion. We already came up with the answer. Single product, always single product. No formula changes, no compensation plan changes, no insertions, no deals. That's what we're doing so that we can focus on the most important asset that any company has, and that's every single person that's a member, that's an influencer or a customer of AAO and Against All Odds. Some other things that we're doing that, again, if you really get down to it and what our big focus is, it's all about that duplication and retention. These are some things that are going to help with both duplication and retention. One of them is every single influencer, and an influencer is anybody who has a $49.95 order or more every single month. Every single month, you're going to get an NFT. This NFT is your ticket to profit sharing in the company. So think about that for a second. Where you work right now, do you have the ability to share in the profits of that company, no matter what it is? Is that even a possibility for you? Here it is. And Against All Odds, there is a possibility for every single member to share in the profits of every single dollar that comes into this company. And you do it by just being a loyal, consistent influencer. So if you order month 1, you're going to get an NFT. This is your ticket to profit sharing in the company. Month 2, you order again, you're going to get another NFT. Month 3, again, another NFT. You do that 36 months in a row from the day that you start. You don't miss any months. We're going to put you into a profit sharing plan. And then we have 2 more, 48 months, which is 4 years, and 60 months, which is 5 years. So all of our loyal influencers that order it and actually create this as a non-negotiable for themselves, you're going to have the ability to share in 3 profit pools, profit sharing of the company with only people that have been active for 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. Now, if you miss even one order, again, remember what a non-negotiable is. A non-negotiable is you don't miss an order. And if you do, then that's it. No more NFT program and no possibility of sharing in the profits of the company. But again, you can make so much more than that. This share in the profits of the company through the compensation plan and through your own efforts. We're saying, hey, we're going to give you the ability to write your own check. That's what you have here. But we're also going to give you the ability to actually have profit sharing in this company. That's through the NFT program. In addition to that, we're going to do all of our recognition through NFTs. So we're not going to have to send things throughout the mail, but these are a legit NFT. I honestly think once you see it and see how it works, it is really cool. And it's something that you can, pull up in your MetaMask wallet and show all of your NFTs. And it's a conversation starter. You can just start the whole conversation about AAO. You can actually start by showing your NFTs. Now, a lot of people are seeing on Apple Watches, you're seeing celebrities wear Apple Watches in a pendant around their neck with their NFTs. You're seeing them display NFTs on the face of their Android or their Apple Watch. You're seeing, again, this go absolutely all over. You're seeing people, celebrities, drop millions of dollars just for an NFT, for a CryptoPunk, for a Bored Ape. But again, we have this NFT is a real legit deal. This gives you the ability to actually share in the profits of the company. The recognition, also some of them are going to have some perks. In addition to that, we have part of our compensation plan as a qualified influencer that's going to give you NFTs that have all kinds of things, starting with maybe the most important actual training, in-depth training by a certified trainer to help make sure that you have all the knowledge, all the access to every tool, and the understanding of how to use that tool in order to build your business. Those are things done through NFTs. We'll also be doing our incentive trips through NFTs. We'll be doing things like the live events. The tickets for those will be through NFTs. So all kinds of different things you'll be seeing NFTs, and you'll see all the different uses of NFTs as you start to understand that. It will be a big part of what we're doing with AAO. Now, the next thing, what makes this all possible is that single product. Again, the single product, something that we know that we don't have to change, we don't have to focus on. And because of that, our entire goal was to create, if you're only going to take one product, we wanted to create that product that would basically give you what the body needs every single day. There's some things that could help the body, but there's not a ton of things that the body really uses as a foundational tool or a building block. What the body uses as a building block are things like minerals. Minerals are the building block of the body. 100% of diseases can be traced back to mineral deficiencies. So you want a product that you know is going to give you your body the minerals that it needs every single day in the form that it needs those minerals. Typically, you're meant to get the minerals in food, and I'll explain that here in just a second. In addition to that, oxygen. You can only live a couple minutes without oxygen. Alkalinity. It's extremely important that you realize, as our body, we're made up of somewhere between 50 to 70 trillion cells. These cells live in an environment. On the pH scale, that environment has two options. It can be acidic or it can be alkaline. Now, why this is so important is disease can only survive in an acidic environment. The blood that carries all the nutrients and oxygens to every single cell in our body has to remain alkaline. So your body has this constant war. What we're doing, the foods that we're eating, the movement that we're doing, all of these things create acid, but yet the blood has to remain slightly alkaline. No question, it has to. It'll pull from the calcium from your teeth, from your bones, from your tissue, everything that your body can do to keep that blood alkaline because your life depends on it. So these are our battles that we're going through every single day in our body. This product is developed to help you win those battles day in and day out. Now we have 3 different blends. I'm going to go through these very quickly. We have an adaptogen and detox blend. We have a greens matrix, biomatrix blend, and a nitric oxide blend. So let's go ahead and start with what I would say is the foundation of the product. That's our greens biomatrix blend. This is where the minerals, this is where the alkalization, this is where the oxygen is coming from. This is unlike any other greens that you're finding on the marketplace. These greens come from right here in Utah, about 2.5 hours from our home office. This is all an ancient seabed. Here's what's so unique about them. They have the fields, they created the processing plant right on the field. So as soon as they harvest the grass, they actually turn it into a juice. They turn that juice into a powder with never going more than 41 degrees Celsius. So they don't kill any of the nutrition. In fact, the nutrition that you're getting as you rehydrate this powder is virtually identical to that freshly squeezed juice. Now, here's why that's so important. The nutrients that you're after in the greens is in the juice. It's not in the grass itself. The grass itself is made up of cellulose and things like that that the body cannot even digest. Humans are not made to eat that. Again, cows have 2 guts. Most animals that eat grass have more than 1 stomach. We don't. We're not made to digest that grass. But we do get all of the minerals. We get all that oxygen, all that chlorophyll from the amazing juice from these grasses. So we're getting all of the nutrition the way that we were meant to get that nutrition. And most companies, their greens, I don't care if they're organic, I don't care if they're from New Zealand, none of that matters. Here's how most of them are processed. They harvest the grass, they bake it, and then they grind it. You're basically getting grass sawdust. And you can actually look at it and you'll see, wow, this looks a little bit like grass sawdust. And that is literally what you're getting from most companies. It is not a juice powder. It's not even close. And then when you add to that everything that we're doing for the microbiome, all of the gut health, and you'll start to see some of the highest searched terms in all nutrition are microbiome right now. It's one of the most popular things. If you start to see where everything's going, it's going towards gut health. And we feel we're on the forefront of that with what we have here in our microbiome mix. Now, just a couple pictures that can kind of show you what I'm talking about here with the greens. You see right here on the left picture, this is actually what's left after they've tried to get all of the nutrition out of the greens. So this is after it's been juiced, this is what's left. Now they kind of judge the nutritional value of greens by what's called TDN. That's total digestible nutrition. The TDN of the after product, after they've already squeezed as much nutrition as they possibly can out, is still 6 to 14 times higher than the other grasses coming from the United States. And we're talking about all the organic grasses from the other parts of the United States. The difference that they don't have is they don't have that soil of the ancient seabeds and the volcano and all of the stuff that's right here in Delta, Utah. And they don't have that technology to go from the juice to the powder without killing any of that nutrition. It is absolutely unbelievable. And then you have here a good visual of this grass sawdust that most companies are selling you, and the bright green juice powder that we have in our Active Greens formula. Again, there is absolutely no comparison. Both of those are completely organic. If you look at the package, it's going to basically sound like you're taking the exact same product. It's not even close. It's not even in the same realm of nutrition. And then you have the massive juicers that are turning this grass into the juice and then turn that into the powder that we're using in our Active Greens. So in addition to that, we have the adaptogen and detox blend. Again, removing the toxins from the body is one of the most important things that you can do for your health. Adaptogens are so important because our body is always changing and we want it to get towards homeostasis. And so adaptogens allow your body to get to the normal. So if your blood pressure is high, they can help lower it. If it's low, they can help raise it and just adapt as we change. Again, extremely important. Thousands of years of research on different adaptogens in the body. Again, the body's not designed to store toxins. And as it's doing that, it's going to hold on much tighter to things like fat because it's using this fat as a buffer from the acid, from the toxins in your body. If you can remove those, then your body will start to release the fat and stuff a lot easier, so it's not working against you. Then we also have a nitric oxide blend. This is massive. If it was only this, if it was only the greens and microbiome, if it was only the adaptogens and detox, if it was only the nitric oxide, it would be an absolutely incredible product that you should take every day. But when we have all of them in one simple blend, again, I can't imagine anybody that finds out about it and starts using this product, why they wouldn't want to take it every single day and also tell everybody that they know, love, and care about. Heart disease is the #1 killer, males and females all over the world. #1 killer. 1998, 24 years ago, the Nobel Prize in Medicine went to the discovery of 2 amazing amino acids by 3 scientists, L-arginine and L-citrulline, that formulated correctly when put into the body to treat nitric oxide. And then they showed that nitric oxide not only prevents but reverses heart disease. So that's a fact. Nitric oxide not only prevents but reverses heart disease. That's 24-year-old technology. We have some brand new technology that's only been out for a couple years with what we feel is the best nitric oxide blend that's ever been put together in a nutritional product. We obviously can't say that our product prevents or reverses heart disease. You can say nitric oxide does. But what's amazing about our product, we actually send test strips so that you can test for yourself and see what it's doing in your body. And then the last part of our blend is a max absorption blend that's really just designed to make sure that you're able to absorb all of these amazing nutrients so that you're getting them into the cells, into the blood, where they can actually go and help repair and regenerate the body, work as anti-aging, again, alkalization, mineralizing the body with every single sip, helping you create that nitric oxide, helping you remove those toxins, helping the body adjust to the stress that you're under, adjust to the environment that you're living in, and all of those with the amazing adaptogens that we have. Now we're going to spend about the last 5 or 6 minutes of the presentation on the compensation plan. And this is really where we allow you to write your own check. And I do want you to think about it on this call. If you were going to pay yourself whatever wage realistically that you think that you could earn or that you would like to earn, or that could really relieve stress from your life, what would that be? And then as I go through these numbers, I start to think, is this something that really could be doable if you had all the support, all the training, all the tools, the personal development? I'm not saying, could you do it right now today? The answer may be yes, maybe no. But if you had all the mentorship, if you had all the training, if you had all the tools, if you had the people that really lifted you up and told you exactly what to do, taught you exactly how to build the business, listen to this and think if this could improve the finances in your home. Now, the only way that every single influencer and against all odds can profit is through our retail plan. I feel we have the best retail plan ever created. And I put this together over 20 years ago and have launched with several companies. So again, this isn't all new information. What we're talking about is we've taken the best of what I've learned over the last 30 years, what Travis has learned over the last 25 years, what JC's learned over the last 15 years, all the studying that we've done of success, both in the network marketing and home-based business industry and outside of it, what other companies have done to create massive success. And then we've put it all here. So starting with the customers, 50%, customers have two options. They can do a one-time order for $59.95, or they can do a subscription for $49.95. Either order, you make 50% of that every single time they order. In addition to that, excuse me, it pays 50 cents to $1 upline, 10 levels. Now, we also have a way that the customers can refer and get free product. So on customer referrals, meaning I refer a customer, that customer loves the product, but they don't want to be an influencer, at least not yet, but they want to at least get free product. So they go and refer a customer. Every customer they refer, I get $10 and they get a credit. For every 3 credits that they earn, we'll give them free product. Now the credits don't expire and they can earn unlimited credits. So if they refer 9 customers, I'm going to make $90. They're going to get 9 credits, which they can turn in for 3 bags of active greens. And again, their customers can refer customers who can refer customers who can refer customers, which means for me, that would be $10, $10, $10. And this goes infinite levels. So these customers can build a massive customer organization that I'm going to get $10 every single time that they order. And they're just going to pay 50 cents up 10 levels from there. So again, this is something that you can get paid not only the 50% on your customers, but then you can get $10 on all the customers they refer to infinity, and they can get free product. Now, if we're looking at influencers, this is the other side of the business. So we have the customers. That's the only way that every single person can profit. Now we have the influencer side. The influencer side, what's so powerful here is this creates leverage. So this allows you to make unlimited income, and income that no longer depends on your own time. The retail side is dependent on you making that sale and you working with them and showing them how to do referrals and working with testimonials and helping them reorder every single month. That's why you're paid 50% on every single order. Here, all of a sudden, we're working with influencers. We're working with business owners, people that want to make money and want to participate in the program and want to create leverage, control their time. This is the only bonus that you really need to know to understand the entire compensation plan on the influencer side. So you get started with $49.95. You find 3 people that get started with $49.95, and you help them do the same. So I get 3, I help them get 3. That's a total of 12 people. If I do that in any month, the company's going to guarantee a $100 minimum check, meaning if my check's less than 100, they'll add whatever it takes to that check to get to 100. If it's over 100, I just keep my check. If I understand this bonus, this is what's going to build my entire business. Now, it's all done by what we call a 3x team structure. So a 3x10 team structure. All that means is we all work together as a team to fill in all these positions. Everybody has 3 positions on the first level. They can be filled by the people I personally invite or through upline spillover. That's the only way that your first level can be filled. All levels from your first on down can be filled by people that you refer, upline spillover, or downline duplication. So we're all working together to fill these positions, 3, 9, 27, all the way down to the 10th level, 59,049. So again, that's how this is working. And if all we're focusing on is that $100 minimum check, I find 3, I help them to find 3. That's already 2 levels. I duplicate that one more time, that's 4 levels. I duplicate it one more time, that's 6 levels, et cetera, et cetera. So as that happens, you can see here on this sheet that's basically going the first 3 levels, they're going to pay 2.5% on every single bag that's purchased. The CV, or the commissionable volume, is 40. So that's $1 per bag on my first 3 levels. So if they just order 1 bag per position, that's going to be $39. Now levels 4 through 8 pay $2 per bag. There's 9,801 positions on those levels. That's $19,062. You go level 9, it's going to pay $3 per bag. There's 19,683 just on that one level alone. That's over $59,000 in monthly commissions. And level 10 has 59,000 positions. It's going to pay $4 per active greens pouch sold. And so if everybody just buys 1 pouch and you fill this 10 levels, that's going to pay $314,886 per month. We know that the average order is going to be more than 1. I feel it's probably going to be 1.5. And again, that's for my 30 years of experience of launching this type of thing. Some people buy 1, some 2, some 6, some 10. If you average it all out, it's probably going to be about 1.5. So what that would mean is if it was 1.5, that'd be close to 500,000 just based off of this 3x10 structure. And this is not the strongest part of the compensation plan. This is kind of the base of the compensation plan. Where it starts to get a little bit stronger is this slide right here. We also pay up to 10 generation matching bonus. And this is based on every single person that you refer. So this income can be absolutely unlimited. There's no limit on it. But what you match is whatever is earned in that 3x structure. So I just mentioned if you filled that up and they had an average of about 1.5 bags of active greens, that put it at about $470,000. So you make a percent of that on every single person that you refer, everybody they refer, all the way down to infinity, or until somebody reaches what we call 4-star or higher. When somebody reaches the rank of 4-star, that doesn't end your pay, that just ends your first generation and starts your second. So as you can see here on this graph, we have a 4-star on level 3, we have a 4-star on level 6, we have a 4-star on level 7, but then it continues down 5% match on every single person to infinity. And then we have another 4-star, which again isn't going to end the pay, it's just going to end the second generation and start the third. We have that on level 8, level 9, level 11. Again, doesn't end the pay. That just starts the third generation. And then as we continue down to infinity, somebody else hits 4-star. In this example, we see one on level 12, one on level 15. That doesn't end the pay. That just ends the third generation and starts the fourth. This carries on for 10 generations. This is going to give you the ability to literally earn a match on hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people in the type of compensation plan that pays more checks than any other plan in all the home-based business or network marketing industry. So matching bonuses have been proven over the last 20 years to be one of the most profitable ways of any compensation ever created. People making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands per month just on the matching bonuses alone. And they've mostly been popular in 2-team plans. 2-team plans are great because they pay infinite levels, but they all limit the amount of money that you can earn, and they all pay the fewest checks in the industry. So what we have here is we have the type of compensation plan that pays the most checks in the industries. Most binaries max out at between $10,000 and $20,000 per week. That's $40,000 to $80,000 per month. Here you see with just 1.5 bags, that's $500,000 per month in a plan that pays the most checks in the industry, not the plan that pays the fewest checks. So if you can start to understand this, and if you don't worry about it. Remember I said the only bonus you need to understand is the 3 who get 3, $100 minimum guarantee. You duplicate that a couple times, and the rest of the plan takes care of itself. So step number 1, get started for $49.95. We have other options. We have other options for what I'd say are the more professional options. For people that are looking to make an income faster, for people that doesn't matter what you've done in the past, for people that have income goals of $100,000 per year or more, we have other packages that, not that you can't do it with the $49.95, we're just going to allow you to do it a lot faster, have a lot more training along the way, and have your team trained along the way by certified trainers. Extremely important. I'm not going to get into that on this opportunity call, but we do have other ones that will explain other options. We're just going to focus on this for now. So you get started for $49.95. There's no sign-up fees or nothing like that. You share this information with as many people as it takes to get 3. The goal would be to do that within 2 weeks, and I'll explain why here in a second. Step number 3, you want to help those 3 find 3. The goal should be within 2 weeks. The reason that's so important, if I find 3 within my first 2 weeks and they find 3 within their first 2 weeks, that's a total of 12 people my first month. But the beauty of this, it puts me in profit my first month. So not only am I going to make the money in the matrix, I'm going to get that guaranteed $100 minimum check. So if I only brought 3 and they brought 3, that would be my first 2 levels. That's $1 per person. That'd be a $12 check. What we're saying is we're not just going to pay you $12. We're going to add 88 to that so that you get $100 because you got 3 and you help them get 3. That's the lifeblood of this entire business. If you do that in your first month, the retention is going to be basically 100% because everybody's going to double their money the very first month. So as that continues, month 2 and month 3, we're just showing duplicate that 2 more times. In the matrix alone, with a single bag, that'd be around $2,145. But we know it's not going to be a single bag. It's probably going to be a bag and a half. So that's going to be around $3,000. So again, I get 3. I help them get 3. I duplicate that 2 more times. If it's taking me 2 weeks, that's 2 more months. So by the end of my 3rd month, that'd be around $3,000 per month. That's about the average full-time income in North America, but it's just barely getting started. Nobody's doing anything different. It's just 3 in 2 weeks who get 3 in 2 weeks. Now all of a sudden that goes and we duplicate it 2 more times. That's month 4 and month 5. That all of a sudden now is going to put me over 300,000 just in the 3-team plan alone. Add in the matching bonuses, it's going to be over 400,000 on a single product. You add in the probably 1.5 products that people are going to buy on a monthly basis on average, that's going to throw it up to around $600,000 per month. That's in 5 months with nobody getting more than 3 and nobody doing it faster than 2 weeks. If you want to just have the fireworks go off and realize the potential, how fast can you get 3? Is it realistic to get 3 people in 3 days? I don't know. That's for you to decide. I think it's realistic to get 3 people in a couple hours. So 3 people in 3 days, I would say is very realistic. You realize if you duplicated that process and I got 3 people in 3 days, in 30 days, I will have made this. So let's just say that you start on September 1st and you say, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to get 3 people in the first 3 days of September. I'm going to help them get 3 in their first 3 days. So by the 6th of September, I'm going to have 12 people in my group. If that continues on, when we pay the matrix and the matching bonuses monthly, so what you're going to be looking at is October 10th. That pay on October 10th, if the average order was 1.5 bags, that pay would be over $600,000. $600,000 what you did in September. And that's getting 3 people in 3 days. That's not doing anything impossible. And them getting 3 people in 3 days, etc. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen for anybody, but what percent could happen? 1% of that? Okay, that's still 6,000. A tenth of a percent of that? A tenth of 1%. Is that possible? Okay, that's 600. Go down even way further. I'm not even in that ballpark, but I got 3 who got 3. Okay, you got 100. Hopefully this starts to make sense to some people. If you have big dreams and you want to write that check, what's that check going to be? 600,000 a month enough? Okay, get 3 people in 3 days and duplicate that and you can have it next month. You don't have to make a plan for 10 or 20 years. You don't have to say get rich quick. This isn't, obviously that's what you would say, that's quick. Why is it quick? Because you're in a leveraged business that has the potential to do that. Not many businesses have that type of potential. Not many businesses have the potential for you to actually get profit sharing in that company by doing nothing more than ordering a product that you should probably take every month anyways. It's going to give you all this education on non-negotiables from people that have done billions of dollars in sales, made tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars in profits, and are going to teach you exactly how to do that. Certified trainers that are trained by millionaires, people that have done billions of dollars in sales. They're certified to train you so that you know every single thing that you need to have success in this business. We're not reliant on your sponsor. I don't even care if you have a sponsor. We're going to break this down so much that it matters zero what your sponsor does. This is the chance to take responsibility for yourself. Don't worry about what your sponsor said. Who cares? Because we're going to have all that training that if you've never even had a sponsor, if you've never even done this business before, but you can follow simple directions, you're going to have success in AAO, regardless if you've ever had it before. Again, of course, it's against all odds. A lot of people can understand that the odds may feel like they're stacked against you. But what we're going to do is we're going to provide the opportunity that levels the playing field, that makes this fair for every single person that has some desire. Now all of a sudden they have opportunity to make the change that they want in their life. And that's what the company's all about. So I'm going to go ahead and end the presentation for tonight. We have a couple more days. Again, we really wanted to launch this on the 22nd. We've had the product for over a month. So the product's here, the website's done, back office is done. We're ready to go. But what didn't happen is the test strips didn't come. And that's 100% our fault. We thought that everything was approved. We called the check and they said, hey, we didn't get the final approval on the artwork. And we're like, what are you talking about? We replied back to that weeks ago. But so something happened. And so we had to have them overnight some strips. When it's coming from outside the country, overnight's not necessarily overnight. So they're going to show up on Wednesday. We're going to start shipping everything on Thursday. The first shipments we're just going to do from our warehouse. We ship thousands of packages per day right now from our warehouse. We're not going to use that long term. Our plan in the US is to use Amazon warehouses, but they can't ship from those warehouses until the product's in all the warehouses, and we need the strips to go along with the product. So that's where we're at. Again, not where we would like to be, especially when it's a self-inflicted mistake that we made. But you know, sometimes that happens. We don't have any excuse, but we don't want to launch without the strips, because getting all those testimonials, all those people from day one, they do the unpackaging, they test their nitric oxide before they've tried the product, they try the product, they test it again, and we literally have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of those over the next 6 or 7 months, just all over social media. Everybody seeing this against all odds, this active greens absolutely blow up social media. That's what we're going to do, but we need those test strips to do it. And so we're going to wait to ship the product until we have the test strips to go with them. That should be Wednesday. I don't see any delays. We have the tracking, we have everything. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more information. So use these next 2 days to your advantage. Get as many people as you can on tomorrow's call, on Tuesday's call, and then let's light up the internet on Wednesday with all of the first orders and start making money. And the money that you can make just in the next couple of weeks can easily be thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars because of the work that you've done over the last 2 weeks of this free launch. So again, thanks everybody. We look forward to hearing from you very soon on our next call. So until then, have an absolutely great Sunday night, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.